All right, what's going on, ladies and gents? It is your boy Henry, and welcome back for another market update. So first, I must apologize for my absence yesterday. I just didn't have any time to record a video, so that is the reason there. But I mean, really, guys, nothing has really changed. It's been pretty much the same thing for about like what 2 weeks now. We've just been playing the waiting game, and it's really all that we're doing still. We're just like letting it play out right in front of us. All right, so I'm just gonna go back to what we talked about on that video, the last video, which was the Sunday weekly report. All right, which honestly, guys, the bulk of the video was me calling out a shit ton of divergences. Like there was just an absolute crap ton of divergences playing on the daily time frame, the weekly time frame, the hourly time frame, the 4 hour time frame. Like they're everywhere. They're forming everywhere, and as you get closer to that breaking point, well, like you see these daily and weekly divergences, but as you get close to that breaking point, you're gonna see that a divergence pop up on the 1 hour chart, and that is what I said we were observing on the QQQ. If we come back to the hourly, I said that's what we're seeing play out here, and I will point that out right here. All right, you clear as day made this lower high there. All right, whereas you did not here. All right. And it ended right here, and you actually did kind of form another bearish divergence, and I do want to say, guys, that is likely what we got playing out right now. The reason I wasn't so I didn't think it was needed to make a video yesterday, just because, like I said, nothing has really changed. Like it's really just we saw another hourly divergence form. That's about it. This is the only thing that has changed. I mean, we talked about US oil probably getting a bounce off the bottom of its trend line there, and that was on this day, and look what happened. We got a bounce. I said it was very likely that this thing is going to be breaking out, since VIX looks like it was going to be breaking out of its bullish falling wedge here. And as you see, yeah, we are having another breakout on the VIX. We had a false breakout here, right back in. You did have your daily close outside of this trend line, but you did get sucked right back into it. So I mean, but we did see it is only a matter of time. And yeah, as we've been saying, like it's just a waiting game. You just gotta buy contracts that aren't gonna get demolished, and we just gotta wait it out. But yeah, US oil is likely going to be breaking out of this wedge again, just the same exact false breakout that the VIX had back here. But yeah, all right, so let's just start off with the hourly chart on, let's go on QQQ. I think I had that drawn up. So we're on the hourly on the QQQ, and what I want to point out is that we might have a possible head and shoulders formation right here. And if this really is what is playing out here, you're going to, or what is forming here, you're going to see this thing start bouncing right here on the trend line we have drawn, and is going to do something like that. It's going to make up this shoulder here, and then we are most likely going to be breaking down. Now, the oscillators still haven't changed. Like, even though a shit ton of time has gone by since we originally came into this oversold territory on the oscillators, or on the CCI, I should say, like, nothing has really changed. All right, like this, it's the same thing. Like, yeah, you eventually you have to pull back. All right, you do have to pull back. But what I also will say now is the RSI is even higher than it was on this great unwind right here. All right. What were we at in the RSI back over here? We reached 66. All right. We are currently, well, we currently reached just about 69, 68.75. That is pretty up there. All right. And I've explained how to use the RSI several times on this channel, but I'll go over it one more time. Over 50, bulls are trying to take control. Under 50, bears are taking control. Under 30, bears have complete control. Over 70, bulls have complete control. All right. If you get up into the 70 area and you start hinging down, yeah, it looks like the bears are trying to block the bulls from reaching that complete control, and that does look to be the case. All right, but I just want to point out, all right, like even though the 70 on the RSI does not mean you are overbought, all right, it does mean you have a very long ways to go for an unwind, and I think that is what we're going to have here. I don't think it's going to be like months of downside like this. I think we're going to have I think it's only going to be something like this. I think we're literally just going to sell off, and then I think we're going to keep going up. All right, but again, I could be completely wrong. We are in a bear market. This is my first bear market, and honestly, guys, I towards the like up until now, like yeah, these past like what 1 to 2 months, yeah, I've been doing all right in this bear market, but I didn't know how to trade it earlier. Had no idea. So I'm just saying this bear market really could throw some tricks at me that I'm not ready for. But at the same time, even if it does like just not stop, I mean all that we're going to be looking for are these divergences to form. We want to be looking on the daily chart, the weekly chart already has our the divergences that got us so hyped, okay, that has us calling for a bottom. All right, it is this weekly divergence right here. All right, which I mean, maybe this was that weekly divergence playing out. I don't know. My opinion personally is I think we are going to go down. We're going to form another divergence. But now that I say that, I do realize that that involves us making a lower low on here. All right, whereas we make a higher high on here, so we would have to stop before that lower bound right there, and we would have to rebound. Whereas here, we'd have to come down, or to form another bullish divergence on the weekly time frame here, we'd have to come down here, double bottom here, and we would have to break back up, and we would have to come down here and make a higher high on your CCI, and that would be considered your bullish divergence. All right, so now that I actually say that out loud and realize what that would bring, I'm not sure if we do have a bullish divergence form on the weekly time frame, like a second one. We already have this first one forming, and you kind of have it on your stochastic. You have like a quadruple bullish divergence here. If you really just line those up, we have a 1 point in divergence, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. All right, so yeah, we have a quadruple bullish divergence going on the stochastic on the weekly time frame. All right, but yeah, I mean, I honestly still think like we possibly could have a bottom here. I don't think we have. I don't think the Fed is doing a great job on inflation. But hey, if the Fed is going to U-turn, then that is going to guaranteed represent that short-term bottom. And I mean, like during this one, you didn't have any divergences for him. You just kind of went. You just were off the races, and boom, you went right off the all-time highs there, like well into all-time highs. Like once you got back up to all-time highs, you then ran another 40%. That's crazy. I don't think something like that's going to happen just because GDP has been not coming in positive. It's been negative the past 2 quarters. And if we don't have growth in the US, then why are the US companies going to be showing growth? They're not. All right. Like that's the only reason that like us moving to all-time highs really is justified, in my opinion, is if like we end up having positive GDP. Like if a bunch of these earnings are still like just revising future guidance down, then yeah, I mean, I still think it does not make sense that we come back up to all-time highs. But if that does change, then boom. Now, even if we don't go into all-time highs, I still think we are going to have a massive rally. Okay, I told you guys that this is going to be a bull trap. I told you guys all the way from down here. I said we're going to probably have a massive rip, but it's going to be a bull trap. All right, and what I said is I said this was on the table, us getting into this zone. Excuse me, it was a hiccup. I said us getting into this zone. I haven't marked down the QQQ. I said it is a possibility. Right here, we actually ended up going like decently higher than that zone on the QQQ. On the SPY, we just never hit it. You just literally never did. And I apologize, guys. I don't know why my computer is acting slow right now, but it is. All right, it's not something I could change, but it's there. All right. But yeah, guys, like I said at the beginning of the video, nothing really has changed. We had another hourly divergence on the QQQ form. We have our possible head and shoulders pattern forming. And if it does get a bounce here, and we have one more day of bounce, all right, like maybe we bounce here, and then the rest of today we spend retracing and coming back up, all right, and then maybe tomorrow we we die, all right, because CPI, I think it drops at 8:30. All right, so everybody be ready for that. But yeah, guys, I said a while back, I said about a week ago, that if the charts stay up here, if these oscillators stay up here going into CPI, All right, then CPI is setting up. The charts are setting CPI up to be a bearish catalyst. Now, I also vocalized my concerns on that. Like, they're setting these expectations near 0.2, which in my opinion makes no sense. That's like 1/4 of minimum what we've gotten like any other month. It makes no sense to me. All right, but maybe a miracle will happen and maybe the market will rally. All right, I don't know. All right, but I think we have a pretty solid storm for a sell-off, and yeah, that's about it. I mean, again, nothing really has changed. The VIX is it found support and it's making its way back up. We technically are broken out as of today. All right, but then again, we broke out back here, so keep in mind that's not a guarantee. But at the same time, you got US oil bouncing at the bottom of its trend line. That is also getting ready to break out. At the same time, you have these oscillators giving you the sell signal on QQQ and SPY. All right, and we can also go over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's doing its own thing here. I've been saying it for quite some time now. It's been 1 to 2 weeks where Bitcoin has literally been not doing what the indices are doing. All right, and I said that was going to probably act as a bearish divergence. All right, if we see any crazy downside action on Bitcoin, the indices are probably going to fall, but I do think Bitcoin's going to go way further down and make it might break these lows, come back down here, while the QQQ and SPY, maybe they don't break the lows and they just come back to the lows and they bounce there. All right, anything can happen, but I think those are the more likely scenarios to play out. All right, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I don't really have anything else for you today. Like I've been saying, it's just a waiting game at this point. This past week, 2 weeks, it's been a waiting game, and that's why the contracts on the VIX that I started suggesting were the September 21st. I think it's September 21st. Either way, I was saying after a certain point, like my last few buys on the VIX have like only been the September contracts, and it's because like I knew fuckery could have happened. I said we were likely going to be consolidating, or we were slightly moving up into CPI. That's exactly what we've been doing. Like completely predicted the future here on just what we're going to be doing leading into CPI. We can put that back on a chart. It is the 10th. All right, come back over here on the 10th right there. All right, so yeah, guys, I'm eager to see what happens with CPI. I don't know if it's going to be bearish. I don't know if it's going to be bullish. But I'm just saying the charts are predicting that it is going to be a bearish catalyst. And I mean, yeah, we got QQ and SPY with your oscillators giving you the sell signal, and we've been calling it out for weeks now. This was our buy signal right here. This was our mother of all buying opportunities right here when we came down to this trend line. And I said my my other buys after that, they're going to be these gap fills. All right, we got entries on there. We sold out here, re-entered for that gap fill right there, entered a little more on the gap fill. All right, entered a little more on the trend line touch here, and I said the only other time I'm going to be buying is if we come down into the support zone, where I'll definitely be buying. But yeah, I mean, the reason we went with these August and September contracts are, well, not August contracts, the August 31st contracts, and then we started moving into only buying the September 21st contracts, the 25 strikes for both. The reason is because we figured we were going to either be consolidating or we're going to slightly be moving up. But luckily, the VIX contracts, they didn't get demolished, and that was all. It was all according to plan. So, all right, guys. With that being said, I'll catch you guys next video. Sorry I recorded this video so early. I just really won't have I won't have another time to record it today. But yeah, guys. Good luck out there.